Nice to see you. All right, so let's get on our mats and we're gonna either take a seat or you can lie down for the centering. Okay, let's get started. We'll see how much Darwin might wanna join in. I'm gonna take a seat. I'm sitting on a blanket, so if you have a blanket and you'd like to sit up. If you would prefer to lie down, I'm going to invite you to lie down. Or if you would like to sit in a chair, you can sit in a chair. So let's settle in. Something that makes the yoga practice quite different from other things is getting centered. It's the ritual at the beginning of a practice and the ritual at the end of the practice. So if you're taking a seat, just feel your sitting bones underneath you. Feel what you're sitting on. Maybe feel the outer edges of your feet and get grounded there. And if you're lying down, I want you to feel the back of the head, the back of the shoulders, the low back, the sacrum, and maybe your feet if the knees are bent. And if you're in the chair, feel your sitting bones, the back of the thigh, your feet on the ground. So settle in. Maybe close your eyes or you can have a soft gaze. You don't need to see me doing anything right now. And now begins yoga. The union of our body, our mind, and our spirit or breath. Please take an inhale through the nose and experience that entire inhale from the beginning to the end. Exhale out through the nose or the mouth as you start to surrender. And the second breath in, breathe in loving kindness towards yourself. And on the breath out, direct that loving kindness to the world or to someone specific. And on the next breath in, breathe in what you want more of, maybe joy, happiness. And on the exhale, let's release the worries, the fears, and the tension. I'll guide you through this breath meditation inspired by Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching. Settle into the words and maybe even breathe with the words. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I feel my breath as it deepens. Breathing out, I feel my breath as it slows. Breathing in, I calm my body and my mind. Breathing out, I'm at ease. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. Breathing in, I'm in this moment. Breathing out, it's a perfect moment. Please take 3 more cycles of breath at your own rate and use this time for focusing and setting an intention or having gratitude or dedicating the practice. Intention setting, you can breathe in I am and breathe out a word. I am joyful, happy, calm, okay, enough, whatever comes to you. So I'm just going to be quiet for a few breaths here. Okay, when you're done with your intention setting, you could stay, if you're in a seat, you could stay here to do some cat-cows, or we're gonna get onto hands and knees if that's feeling okay for you. So let's all come to hands and knees. If you have a blanket, if you have sensitive knees, this would be the time to put the blanket underneath your knees, but we are going to be doing some different things. The blanket may or may not get in your way, so I'm just going to leave that up to you. All right, so let's come down onto your hands and knees to begin with. Just going to come to the side so you can see me. Place your wrists underneath your shoulders, spread out the fingers, ground through the L of your fingers. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips. Look through your knees, and maybe you can get those feet pointed straight back. The toes can point straight back or they can be curled under. So there's good weight distribution through the fingertips and the roots of your fingers, including the thumb pad, not as much pressure on your wrists. Let's do some cat-cows here. So take a nice breath in neutral table. On your exhale, tuck the tailbone, drop the head down, pull the belly up towards the spine, cat pose. On the inhale, release that tailbone and reach your heart forward away from the belly without leaning the hips forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the head, push into your hands, get a good stretch. On the inhale, reverse that movement of the spine, tailbone up. Sternum lifts away from your belly button. 1 or 2 more with your own breath. In your next cat, if you'd like to sit back towards your heels, that might give a really good stretch for the low back. Try to feel the inhale as you lift the belly away from the tailbone. Last cycle, cat pose on an exhale. And a nice cow pose on an inhale, stretching out the belly. Okay, so come back to neutral table. We're going to do a lunge. So I want to teach you all the elements of the flow before we actually get into the flow. So let's learn how do you step your foot forward. Let's step the right foot forward. Right foot forward. Ground through that front foot. And then lift the shoulders up. Front hip points are here. They're in the front body. They're the place where the pelvis is closest to your skin. You might even feel them. Put your hands on them, put your fingers on them, and give a slight lift to those hip points. You can also imagine that you're pointing your tailbone a little bit down. When you find that more neutral pelvis is what we're looking for, you'll feel a stretch in the front of the left thigh. So we're going to hold that. That's one of our first hip stretches. Arms can go down by your side. Take an inhale and reach the arms up and overhead, reaching through the pinky side of your fingers. If the shoulders are a little sore today or tired, any of the movements can be done with W arms or hands on your hips. So take a nice breath in. This usually gets the energy really flowing. Good breath and out. One more breath in. And then come on down. So I'm going to turn around so you can see this next move I'd like to teach you. So you've heard maybe different teachers talk about the bus stops in yoga. Carol in one of her videos talked about this. Diane Bondi talks about this. There's different places where you can stop off as we move. So you decide what your best stop is. The move here is stepping this foot through until we get to half plank, but we can come through a table pose and then go to half plank, which is my leg is straight out behind me and my toes are curled under. Or we could step this right foot all the way back and through into the half plank. Okay, so you decide. Sometimes this is also called the table balance. I'm going to stay to the side actually. So here we are in this table balance, grounded through your fingertips, grounded through the right toe mounds. And now press into the mat as you lift your left thigh bone up towards your torso area. You can give a little bit of rounding and then place the shin down and lift the back leg up. Right leg lifts just about to hip height. One more time, lifting the left thigh bone up and then place that shin down and lift the back leg out. So that's part of the flow. The next part, keep that leg behind you, right leg behind you. We're going to swing the right leg out to the side. You could come straight back to table if that's your bus stop today, okay? And do a cat-cow here, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, drop the head. On the inhale, come into cow, reach your belly away, reach your sternum away from your belly. One more cat pose, tuck the tailbone, round the spine. Inhale, lifting the heart away from the belly. So an add-on, if you'd like to get different stretch in the inner thigh, the inner hip, you can start shifting the hips back a little bit. They don't have to go too far, or you can come down onto forearms. And then we'll come back up. Okay, so this next step is the lizard pose. We're going to take this right foot and step it towards the front of the mat, but wide. Turn the right foot out. and my hands are in between. They're on the inside of my right ankle. So here's a place, if you had blocks, you could be up on blocks or books or pillows or something like that. We could stay high, or we could take a breath and go a little bit lower. So find your place that feels comfortable in your body. See my cat in the background. And take a couple breaths here. All right. Let's step back into the table pose, stepping the front foot back, and do the other side. So we're starting in regular lunge. I'm up on fingertips. You can move your hand out of the way. You could come all the way up and then step your foot forward. So step the left foot forward. Ground through that front foot, and we'll just lift the shoulders up. So I want to get that pelvis lifted. So the pelvis in lunge is often very naturally tilted forward a little bit, and I want to lift it. So find your hip points, lift the hip points up a little bit, the tailbone points down. There might even be a little bit of an engagement in the low belly here. We're going for some sensation in the front of the left thigh. Pressing down into the front foot. You can even energetically draw the heel of the front foot back a little bit. Press into your back leg. And let's breathe. Inhale, lifting the arms either overhead or to the W. Trying to keep your pelvis neutral. And we'll stay here for one more in-breath through the nose. Out-breath through the nose. One more in-breath. And on your out-breath, let's put the hands down. Okay, so we're going to go through that half plank. So decide, do you want to step all the way through, or are you going to pause at the table pose? And I'm going to teach you something different as well. We're going to go into a half plank variation. So here we are. We're in the half plank, but we're not doing it yet. Half plank pose. We're going to lift the right thigh bone up towards the torso, and then put that shin back down. Lift the back leg. Turn to hip height. Put the back leg down. Lift the right thigh up, place the shin down, lift the back leg, and put the back leg down. And here we go. From here, we're going to move that left leg out to the side, swing it out to the side, and do cat-cow here. Round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, lifts the tailbone, draws the heart away from the belly. Exhale into your cat. Inhale into your cow. And then you can tuck your back toes if you'd like, and start shifting the hips back a little bit. As much as you want. You could go lower, you could drop the head, just explore a little bit. And then we'll come forward, and we're going to step this left foot forward into this lizard pose. Get your supports if you need them. Stay tall if this feels good. Come down lower if that's more appropriate. So really getting into this outer left hip for a breath or two. Okay, and then we're going to step this foot back. All right, so however you like to get up, we're going to get up and put some of these things together. So you can walk your hands back, and you can tip your knees up and stand up, or you can step a foot forward into lunge and then stand up, however you'd like to stand up. Okay, so find the front of your mat. If you have a mat at home, it's fine. If you don't have a mat, you can be on the carpet. Let's come to your tabletop, your mountain pose. So kneecaps are pointed straight forward, legs are neutral. Press down and out with your feet. Lift through the crown of the head. Relax your shoulders. Take a breath in and out in a strong mountain pose. Hands come in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. However you like to get your arms overhead, that can be out and up or straight up or W arms. We'll take an inhale, reaching the arms up to extended mountain, coming into chair pose on an exhale. Bend the knees, release the arms to your side or behind you. Let the inhale lift the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, folds forward with bent knees. You can keep the knees bent or straighten them. Inhale, steps the right foot back. Exhale, drops the right knee down. Inhale, lifts both arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale into half plank. Step all the way back or stop in the table. Natural breathing here as you lift the right thigh bone up towards your chest and place your shin down. Inhale, lift the left leg to hip height. Exhale down. Breathe as you lift the thigh bone up and then place the shin down. One more breath, lifts the back leg up. So if you would like to swing the leg out to the side, you can do that, or come through the half plank and then swing it out to the side. So left foot is out to the side and come into a cat pose and into a cow pose. One more. Cat, cow. And if you'd like to sit back a little bit, get that stretch that we worked on, and come forward. So we're going to step the left foot forward into your lizard pose. Take a breath here. Maybe bend the elbows. Pausing for an inhale, exhale. So to get to the front of the mat, we're really wide in the left foot. We're going to step the back foot wide as well into a wide squat, sort of a modified squat. So I'm up on fingertips. You could be up on blocks. Curl the back toes under of your back leg, lift the knee, and then step that foot out. So I'm really wide, and just kind of sink your hips down a little bit. We don't have to go into a full squat. If you've got a blanket, they could be under your heels at any time. And then press into the feet. And if you can stand up, we'll stand up. You could stop at the thighs, hands on the thighs. And then hands back in front of your heart. Okay, let's do the other side. Mountain pose. Feet are pushing down and out. Crown of the head is lifted up. Relax your shoulders. Find your breathing. Hands in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, arms lift out and up. Maybe even lift the heart up. Exhale, bends the knees and sweeps the hands to your side or behind you. Inhale, lifts the arms and the heart. Exhale, fold at your hips, maybe straighten the legs. Inhale, steps the left foot back. Exhale, drops the left knee down. Inhale, lifts both arms. Exhale, hands down. Inhale into half plank, however you can get there. Exhale, lifts the front thigh up. Inhale, drops the knee down. Lift the back leg. Place the toe mounds down. Lift the front leg. Place the shin down. Last time, lifting the back leg. And if you would like from here to swing it out to the side, we'll do cat-cow. Round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhale into your cow. Exhale into your cat. Inhale into your cow. Stay here or sit the hips back. You can curl the back toes under. And then come forward. Okay, so we're doing that move. If that worked for you on the other side, let's see. Stepping the right foot wide into your lizard pose. Taking a couple breaths, going slowly. Bending the elbows perhaps. Maybe drop the head. And then let's come back up and see about stepping the left foot out to the side. The feet are slightly turned out. If you want to drop into a full twist, I'm kind of heel toeing together, my feet a little bit closer together. You could drop the tailbone all the way down. And if not, be in that modified squat and come up anytime. Hands in front of your heart. My elbows are in the inner thigh and inner calf area. And then let's see about standing up from here. Can you press into your feet and carefully stand up on an inhale? Exhale, hands come back in front of your heart. Okay, so I have one more add-on that I'd like to teach to you, and we'll go kind of slowly through the flow. When we step back into the half plank, we're going to then open up into a side plank, okay? So I'll teach you that, or you can stay in half plank. Stand in mountain pose, feet down and out, lift through the crown of your head. Find your intention as you place your hands in front of your heart. Take a breath or two here. Deciding on how you might vary the practice to fit your body the best today. Inhale, arms out and up, Maybe lift the heart up. Exhale, bend at the knees, arms back. Inhale, arms lift, heart lifts. Exhale, fold at the hips. Maybe straighten the legs. Inhale, steps the right foot back. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, steps the front foot all the way through. And then what we'll do is open up to the left and stack the shoulders, stack the hips, and have your arm alongside your ear. So I do this. And then you can come back to your half plank. It's a little tricky, but it's fun to play. Ground into your hands, lift the front thigh bone, and place that shin back down. Lift the back leg to hip height, place your toe mounds down. Lift the front thigh, place it down, lift the back leg, and if you want to swing it out to the side, we'll swing it to the side. Adding on a little bit here. Round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhale lifts. Here's our add-on. You can keep doing cat-cow or curl the back toes under. If you'd like to walk back, see how much you want to walk back with your hands. That right knee might even come up and out to the side. The left leg might come to more neutral, toes and knees up. You can see. If you want to try to balance, you can go light on your fingertips and maybe hands at your heart. And then we'll come forward. We're going to step this left foot forward into your lizard pose. Take a breath. And then come down. See how the hips are doing. Are they starting to get, a little bit juicier? You starting to feel a little bit more in those hip joints? And let's come on up. We need to step forward into that wide squat. Lift the back knee. Step that foot forward. If you're coming into a squat, I heel toe just a little bit in, drop down, or do modified and stand up, or skip the whole squatting thing. On an inhale, up we go. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. So now you know where we're going with that side plank variation. You can even go straight from the lunge all the way into the side plank, like without even stopping in the half plank. It's kind of fun to do that. Okay, so last side, and then we'll get on our backs and we'll do some hip stretches on our backs. Down and out with your feet. Tall in the crown of the head, relaxed jaw, chin is level. Shoulders are relaxed. And let's place the hands always in front of the heart for a moment of reflection. On your inhale, arms out and up. Heart lifts, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, bend the knees, arms to your side or all the way back. Inhale, lifts the arms and chest. Exhale, folds at your hips. Inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale, drops the left knee down. Inhale, lifts the arms. Exhale, hands down. Inhale if you want to come straight into side plank or come into half plank and then do your side plank variation. Come on back to the half plank. I'll stay on this side. And lift the left thigh bone up. Place your shin down. Lift the back leg up to hip height, neutral pelvis. Toe mounds down. Lifting the thigh bone up. Thigh bone, shin down and back leg up. And maybe swing that leg out to the side. Here's our cat-cow. Exhale is your cat. Inhale is your cow. And if you would like to tuck the back toes, walk back. You can do that variation or stay where we were with some cat-cows. If you want to try with a little balance, get light on the fingertips. It's hard. You could always, sometimes I put a block under my sitting bones here if you're just learning this. And then let's come on forward. Almost done. Stepping the right foot out to the right side. The right toes are pointed out slightly. And then step the left foot. We'll do one more squat for anybody who's practicing the squats. When you're practicing the squats, you place those elbows in the inner thigh and inner calf, and you let that kind of pressing in and draw the legs into the elbows as well. And let that kind of lift your heart up. If you're done with this, you should stand up and just be in a mountain pose. And everybody inhale, up we go. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Okay, so just a few things to cool down. However you like to get to the floor. If you'd like to do a standing forward fold here and hold it for a couple breaths and then come down, or if you just want to come down bending at your knees, that's fine too. We'll do a few things on our backs. Okay, so we're gonna lie down on your backs with your knees bent. And if you prefer to do the pigeon pose, if you're somebody that practices pigeon pose, you could do pigeon pose here. So this is like an upside down pigeon pose or thread the needle pose. Let's cross your right ankle over your left knee. And the foot, if your proportions allow for it, the foot isn't really touching anything, but the right foot is bright. This is a nice place to stay and linger. I'm placing my right hand, or if you had a block, you could place that on your inner thigh. Just kind of encourage that right knee away from the face a little bit more. It's getting the space in the hip joint. And if you would like to hug your shin towards your body to get more of a stretch in the outer hip, you can either use your bottom leg to do that, or you can use your hands to pull the leg in a little bit. So you make your choice. We can step that left thigh bone in towards the left shoulder. Place your hands around the back of the left thigh. Let your left shin be relaxed. Take a breath here. Adding on just a little fine tuning here. As you bend the elbows and hug the left thigh in, if you could drop your tailbone to point towards the mat a little more, there's going to be a slight lift of the back waist. You'll feel more pressure in the sacrum. And just take a breath there and keep the elbows bent as you do that, and then release. So it's just getting that pelvis to more neutral when you're in that pose. Step the left foot down, uncross. We'll do the other side. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. The left foot stays active and bright. Don't be in a rush. Linger here for a breath. Your hand or a block could be on the mid-thigh, and just gently nudge the left knee away from you. Get some space in that hip joint. And if you're looking for more sensations, then bringing that foot and leg in towards you with your hands, or hugging the right thigh in towards the right shoulder. Lingering for a breath, and then adding on that fine-tuning detail. Keeping the elbows bent, keeping the right thigh bone towards the right shoulder. Drop the tailbone down as you get your pelvis more neutral. There's going to be a slight lift in the lumbar spine, a slight lift in that back waist area. And you're going to feel more grounding right through kind of the center of your sacrum. And then we can step that foot down and uncross. Okay, last couple poses. Let's cross the right thigh over the left thigh, no opening in between my thighs here. This is a little bit like the eagle legs. So some internal rotation now of your thigh bones. If your hands can reach, then you can hug the knees to the chest. But if your hands can't reach, you can just stay with cross-legged just for a breath or two, getting the internal rotation. And again, depending on how your hip joints have been designed, you could do the upside down cow face legs, moving your hands down each shin. They might find the ankles, keep the feet bright, and you gently bring those feet up to the side waist, to the side hip area. Knees may or may not be stacked. This doesn't work for every body. A lot of bodies just aren't designed for this particular pose. In this, you could do some pelvic tilts. So tailbone down, the back waist lifts. If you watched Alex's video, she talked about the clock of the sacrum, which is a wonderful visual. Tailbone, if it's a clock, the tailbone is 6 and the back waist is 12, and you just rock yourself from the 12 to the 6. Okay, and let's come out of that. Step out of the pose. We'll do the other side. Crossing the left thigh over the right thigh. There's no space in between the thighs. Staying here for a breath. And then if the arms are long enough, you can bring those knees in. You could bring the knees in without hands and just hold it there. You won't necessarily be able to do the cow face, and that's all right. But if your hands can reach, put your hands on your knees somewhere where you can give a hug. And then getting more like upside down cow face, slide the hands down the shins, find the ankles, brighten up the feet. And then you can gently encourage the feet towards the side hip area. And if you'd like that pelvic tilt here, you're welcome to go from the 12 o'clock back waist, feeling the pressure there, the grounding there, and then rolling and rocking towards the 6. 1 or 2 times pelvic tilting. All right, step your leg down, uncross. Last few poses, bring the knees together. Now you could do this with your feet on the ground. I'm going to show you with your feet up. So knees come together towards the chest. You can hug the knees for a moment. Good hip flexion here. And then place your hands inside of your legs and see where you want to hold on, maybe on the ankles or shins. And then relax the knees away from each other. Straddle pose. It's really opening up the groin area, opening up the pelvic floor area. It's nice when you breathe in to feel kind of the downward energy or pressure going down the spine and into the pelvic floor. Opening it, relaxing it, and on an exhale, it's the opposite. The energy goes up the spine. Don't do anything. You don't have to pull the pelvic floor up or do a Kegel. Just notice the difference. Inhale. Don't push too hard, but just feel it naturally. Release. And an exhale. One more. If you like the happy baby pose, that's of interest to you from here, and you can come to happy baby by finding either the inner outer foot, unhinging at the knees, letting those thigh bones reach towards the mat by pulling a little bit down on your hands. So the thigh bones are out to the side. The feet are pointed up towards the ceiling. You're really wide in the knees. So if your knees are too close together, it's hard to really get this pose. The knees are wide apart. Or stay and straddle or do something else I haven't done yet that you would like to do. Nobody's around. You can do whatever you want. All right, so let's release that. Step the feet down and let's do a bridge pose, a few bridge poses just to get everything back together again. Okay. So in the bridge pose, your feet are pointed straight forward and the feet don't come all the way in. Sometimes people step their feet so close into the body. They don't go this close and they don't go so far away either that you don't feel any support. So experiment for you where it feels like, the feet are going to support you. The heels are just about close to underneath the knees. They don't have to be directly underneath the knees. And you stay grounded in the tripod of the foot. Arms come down to your side. Just walk the shoulder blades down the mat a little bit, opening up the heart area. We're going to focus more on the hips, so don't worry about a giant opening in the chest area. It's nice to bend at the elbows. So your hands are down, your arms are down straight by your side. You feel them by your side body. And then you just bend at the elbows and point your fingertips up towards the ceiling. The palms face in towards each other. This is sometimes called the robot arms. Thigh bones stay parallel to each other. Step into the feet and lift on an inhale. Lift the hips up by engaging your glutes, really working those hip muscles. The knees point straight forward. Your gaze is slightly forward. You don't need to look at me here. Press into your upper arms just a little bit, but again, it's not about the upper chest opening. If holding for too long, if this is too long for you, come down, of course, and then rejoin. One more breath in. Good engagement in the back body. And then let's roll down from the top of the spine, through the mid-spine, to the sacrum, and come to that neutral pelvis. So next time we're going to actually come into a little bit of a tilted back, a rocked back pelvis. Tuck the tailbone a little bit so you feel a little more pressure on the back waist, which would be that 12 o'clock space. And then keep lifting on an inhale the rest of the spine up. Knees points forward. You could take a quick glance and see if your thighs have opened up. You want them to stay parallel. Feel an evenness in your feet, good pressure in your heel, good pressure through the big toe mound to the pinky toe mound. Breath in and out here. Nice supported bridge pose. And then let's come down from the top of the spine. Try to find each vertebrae, articulate the vertebrae, especially that lumbar spine, trying to press it into the ground. Can you feel that back waist, the middle of the back waist? The 12 o'clock, and then the sacrum, and then come to neutral pelvis. All right, let's hug the knees into the chest one last time. Uttanasana pose. Exhale, hugs the knees to the chest. With the hands, inhale, releases. Let's not have the hips do any work here. So let the arms really work. Let the arms hold on to either the knees or the back of the thighs. If the hands can't reach, if the arms aren't quite long enough, then you don't have to use your arms. But if you're able to, let it do the work. Exhale, hugs the knees in. Inhale, releases. Exhale, hugs the knees in. Inhale, releases. Last time. Exhale, hugs your knees in. And inhale, releases, stepping your feet down. Let's come into Shavasana. I'm going to come up, but I'd like you to find your most comfortable Shavasana. So you can straighten your legs. You can definitely get blankets and pillows. You could put your legs at the wall. You could lie on your side. You could lie on your bellies. Okay. So let's begin the final pose where everything gets integrated. Just take a moment to feel your feelings. How's the body? How was that? You were fully mindful for this entire practice, I hope. Maybe there were some distractions in your environment, and that's fine too. But there's something about coming together and just having somebody guide you through a practice, and you're just focused on that one thing. That's a huge relief. If you would like to do a little pranayama practice, I'll guide you through a 2-part breath. You can put a hand on low belly, a hand on your chest. If you just want to come into Shavasana, that's fine. Just let my voice get a little quieter and be in the background. And just for a moment, feel if that placing the hands on the body helped to integrate things for you a little bit. It's such a powerful thing to do. Our hands are very healing. We can heal ourselves. And the 2-part breath begins with an inhale, and try to get some breath lower down into the low belly, lifting the bottom hand out, up, and then keep that inhale going up into the chest. The second part of the inhale moves to the chest. And on the exhale, let everything go at one time. Take a natural breath in, natural breath out. Next breath in, about half of the inhale comes into the belly, into the low hand. The second half smoothly transitions up to your chest. The exhale can release everything at once. Have a natural breath in, natural breath out. Inhale lifts the belly, about 50% of your breath into belly. Smoothly transition into the chest. Exhale everything at once. Natural breath in. Natural breath out. Next inhale, draw it down into the belly, inflating the belly, releasing pelvic floor. Inhale continues to the chest. If you'd like to exhale from the chest and then exhale from the belly, you're welcome to try that, or let both go at once. Natural breath in. Natural breath out. Inhale into the belly. Keep the inhale up to the chest. Release through the chest. Release in the belly. Natural breath in. Natural breath out. Last one. Breathe into the low belly, into the chest. Breathe out the chest. Breathe out the low belly. Natural breath in. Natural breath out. Let's release your pranayama. Your arms can come to your side. If you need to change positions or do anything differently, make yourself really, really comfortable. This is important. Let's integrate. I'll guide you through a body scan. Starting with the head, feel your skull. Feel whatever part of your head is touching the surface. Relax your forehead, smooth out right in between your eyebrows. Imagine your eyeballs in their sockets, releasing and sinking towards your brain. Try to relax your brain. Relax your temples. Feel your cheeks. Relax the cheek muscles. Unhinge the top and bottom jaw. And let that tongue just relax in the bottom jaw. Feel your neck start to relax, which allows your head to feel heavier. Work your way down the spine, feeling in between the shoulder blades, relaxing that place that's touching the ground. Just feel the grounding. Come to the low back, that place where it may be a little lifted off of the ground. And can you release there? Sinking a little bit more towards the mat in the low spine. Feel the contact of the sacrum. We talked about the back waist, the tailbone, everything in between those areas, a bunch of ligaments. It's relaxing in the sacrum. And right around there, you feel the back of the hips, the sacroiliac joint, SI joint, relax there, both joints on either side. Back hips relax. And now feel your front heart space and imagine your heart opening up, cultivating the opposite. So we're turning towards love. Soften the front heart and let that front heart bloom open. Picture your favorite flower, or maybe the lotus flower. Just imagine that opening up to the sunshine, to life. And move your awareness down to the belly region and get as soft as you've ever been here. Feeling the groin area and your pelvic floor area. Relax. And a lot of love to the hips. That beautiful part of our body that really fully supports us. Feeling the front hips, the side hips, the back of your hips, all relax. Relax your shoulders and arms and hands. Relax your legs, your feet. Can you get a little heavier in the body and a little lighter in your spirit? Embrace this deep sense of well-being that you have created inside yourself. Perhaps you have glimpsed your true self, the place of deep peace and love and acceptance where everything is just right. This is a powerful place. If you would like to come back to an intention or dedication or bring somebody that you care deeply about into your mind's eye, you're welcome to do that here. And let's begin to deepen your breath. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. And keep moving other parts of the body. You can move your legs in and out, or bend the knees, bend at joints, stretch, wiggle things, whatever's coming to you. And if you're on your back, you would bend your knees, roll over to your side, and take your time to come on up. We still want to have our rituals, even though we're digitally connecting. If your legs up the wall, come on down. And let's everybody find the most comfortable seat. Tuning into the breath, and let the inhale lift the spine tall, your spirit high. Place your hands in front of your heart on your exhale. May we learn to live like the lotus at home in the muddy water. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Well wishes to you and to all of your family and your loved ones. Namaste.